All right, we are just waiting on the open. Couple seconds here. We're off to the races. Remember, we're in AMD and NVIDIA. SPY is going nuts. Alerts are going nuts. Up 5% on the portfolio. Don't want to panic. So NVIDIA is up 230%, which is great, of course. I kind of want to jump into something with NVIDIA. If you have that feeling, best thing to do is move to the 3. Should give you something to see. Also really like SPY, but we'll just have to see how we go. I think I'm going to add to my AMD. Those are up 40%. I'm going to add there. Worst that could happen is we get out break even. Doubt that's going to happen with that little jump. So this time in the market can be very... damn, that's a Palantir that I talked about in my PM pre-market session. This time in the market can be extremely nerve-wracking, right? Like it's like, oh shit, everything's going, I want to get in, I want to be the first one. Just try and quell those feelings. We're back to 44% on AMD after the ad. Because those feelings don't serve you well, right? So now I know that I don't want AMD to go back to the open, right? So I have that there. I don't want NVIDIA to go back below this. We're up so much that we're okay. I don't want it to make a new low. Looks like it may. So that is something that we don't want. Palantir is something that I do want to get in. And maybe I should be looking at the 1 minute, but I don't want to push too much or too far. I don't even know how much Palantir costs. I should check that. Okay, a little pricey. All right, AMD, not loving this, right? We were up significantly. Don't want to give back too many gains. I'm going to let this, see what this 3 does. I also need to be looking at, hello, the day. Is there like a significant, okay, so we could fill that gap on the day. This is just something I need to know. Okay. AMD is really taking off. Love to see it. I'm going to put my alert there just so I know when that happens. Would love for AMD to just blow through ADR early this morning, right? In the meantime, everything else, we're just chilling. We're up 17% on the portfolio today. I really want, like, I want to be hitting within like 30 to 50 range every day on this portfolio. Truly feasible. What I'm watching right now is AMD at ADR. So again, like we don't want to take hits, right? If we're up 19% on the port, I would flip screens. I don't like to when I'm in it like this. So that's why I'm calling out the numbers to you. So that is ADR. Let's look. Yeah. So we have hit ADR. Now I need to see if we can keep going. And this is the time where you don't panic, right? Also, Qs should have a great day. Someone mentioned in the chat the Qs. I am looking to see if I can even afford something in the Qs. I'm going to go $574 for $20. All right, don't love what AMD's doing. Got to get out. Pardon me, got to move my stops. All right, stops are in on AMD. Love to see what we see. And I'm in the queues 574. I bought for $19. That should have a really fun day. AMD is obviously doing what we want. And now I can zoom out a little, right? I want to know if it comes back to ADR. First thing. Second, what the hell? I don't like when TradingView does that, like phantom wicks your, like it didn't go there, but like I keep getting alerts that it did go there. That's so strange. I hate when it does that. Okay, so this may be my ad on NVIDIA. See this inside 3? All right, now that's what I want to know, if that happens on AMD. Still not yet. But I definitely want this candle to close. I do see SPY. I likely won't get in because I'm in queues. I don't want to play too many 0-day indices. There's your ad on NVIDIA. I am trying to decide. Ooh, no, I'm not. I was going to think about getting the 180s. They're too expensive, the $200. I'm actually going to do the 187.5s. For $24. And you see SMCI here. All right, this is my last trade of the morning, SMCI. Ooh, this baby is expensive. I think I'm gonna just go a little hectic with SMCI. I want to get the 68s. You guys always talk about my out the money. So SMCI right now is at 60. I'm gonna get these 68s and just see how we go. I bet I can do like 100%. All right, I'm in for $23. I don't want SMCI to flip the day back red. Okay, that's where I'm at with that. So you see what NVIDIA is doing. You see what the Qs are doing. You can see all of this, right? So now I'm going to get off the 3 because I don't want to get, you know, in that hairy space. Sorry, I'm looking at AMD. Oh, okay, I did put stops in. Okay, cool. I'm gonna move those actually. Yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's the AM session. That's a great 10 minutes to start off. The only thing I'm down on is SMCI, but whatever, it's SMCI. I really, next week, will want to trade Hood. Like, I want to trade it now, but I just can't afford it. It's so expensive. So keeping that in mind. Don't love what AMD is doing. Okay, there's my first exit on that. That's a wild pullback. Where are we going, bub? I actually really hate that exit too. But we're up $70, 25% on the day, or 28% now. I'm gonna hold that AMD. I may get another one that's a little further out. So here's that. Now we're up 30%. Okay, so this is what we're in. Take a look. I am going to, I said that was my last trade, but you know, sometimes I just can't resist. I am going to, I don't love where that exit happened. Yeah. Can't win them all, I guess. I'm going to wait for a proper entry on AMD and not make the same mistake that I seem to continuously make. I just need to know now if I have a fiver against me. I'm going to hold on to that singular contract that I'm in. And yeah, so what I'm debating, why I keep saying is getting into the AMD, getting into another AMD contract. So that's what my That's what my brain is thinking about right now. But yeah, I definitely want 15ers to happen and all that kind of stuff. So good on the morning. Pretty decent morning. I mean, we've done 30%. I guess we're at 26% now, but regardless, decent morning. Nothing to be, upset about. Again, every day I want to be within the 30 to 50% range increase on this portfolio. So that is that. Another thing that we do want to do with this portfolio, because swinging builds ports, we want to have money for the PM session, right? You guys have seen I'm just like, oh, I got to add money. That's because I'm overspending in the morning. So I don't want to do that today. I want to get this locked in. I need to know if I have a 5 against me on the Qs as well. I need to know if SMCI goes red on the day. Yeah, I really hate that exit. Robinhood's exits are a lot more difficult than TOS. So I may just stop putting stops in because I really don't like that happened to me. Like at all. That it happened to me, like I didn't set it myself. I did set the stop myself. But I just don't like that it triggered. So now what do? We set our alerts to know when it's time to move stops and when it's time to celebrate, etc., etc. So we'll do that. Come on. Yalla. All right. Create that. T2. So this will also give me peace of mind to walk away. Hold on, sorry. I just want to see what the Qs. Okay, no big deal. Q should have a great day because tech is going to have a great day. But if it doesn't, then we just stop out. That's the beauty of all of this. All right. But again, you got to let things happen, right? I'm down 26% on SMCI. You got to just let things play out. It hasn't flipped a day. Just let it play out. Remember yesterday when I was down on SMCI and I was like, oh, this is a ticker that you just got to let it go, right? And the more that you trade tickers, like specific tickers, the more you learn that about a ticker, right? You just learn like, oh, okay, this one just takes a minute to get going, but you definitely still want to get that entry, right? And maybe I got the wrong entry. Yesterday I was in too early. Maybe I did it again today. So I'm going to have to make up for that, right? Maybe I should have waited for this 5 at a trigger on SMCI. Make sense? Okay. Let's do some more of this. All right, I'm going to stop this video. You don't have to watch me do this. This is obvious things that I'm doing. All right. And remind you of is we've just put in the first 15 minutes of the market. That's when it's time to stop hawking the 5 minute, right? You're starting to get more information on the day. You want to move up the time frames that you're watching, because if you only watch and you hawk the 5 minute, it's going to kick you out of things. It's going to scare you out, etc., etc. You're going to feel like things are happening super quickly and you have to make moves right now immediately. That's just simply not the case. Okay, so I want to be super clear about, hold on, I need to figure out what AMD is doing. I want to be super clear about that in terms of time frames that you're watching. Don't give yourself extra stress for no reason, right? So this is really where I want to be. I want to know. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I want to know that, oh, it's just an inside 15. I can take my time, right? This little 5 wick against me, like, oh, okay, I can actually just settle in. It's okay. The 15 just opened. It's inside. It needs time to continue up, right? That is hard to navigate when you're in this and everything is ticking and ticking and ticking on the 5 minute, because things just feel like they're happening faster. So keep that in mind. As the day progresses, you do want to be moving up the time frames that you're watching, because crazy shit happens on the 5 minute, right? And the 15 gives you a little more time. And then as you get further in the day, you want to be looking at the 30s and 60s. So if you're a 30-60 guy, you haven't even taken a trade yet, right? And I've already taken what? 4? Let's see, I added to AMD, added to NVIDIA, gotten Qs, yeah, and gotten SMCI. Like I've already taken 4 trades. So if that's not you, if that's not your style, then just don't be that person. Just wait for it. If this is something that you want to do, you got to know when it's time to switch over. Okay. couple things. SMCI, again, I know this is a ticker, you just got to let it run. Let it do its thing, right? So what I really should be doing on SMCI is waiting for a 5-minute entry. The same thing happened yesterday. All this triple inside fiber, same thing happened yesterday before the takeoff. So that is definitely a me problem. These are wrong. So I wanted to point that out. Also, AMD is doing its thing. This is why you just kind of have to let shit run. AMD doing its thing. I got kicked out of queues. Obviously, this was not great for us. So we're going to have to wait for like a 15 or probably a 30 to show us where we want to be. SMCI, I'm going to move my alert to like here just so I know what's going on. But yeah, things like this. Oh, I also wanted to mention, so the AMD swings, right? I swung on Friday. They were $22. The 185s were $22, right? $20 out of the money. And I spoke about this in my video yesterday, so if you haven't seen that, now's a great time to watch that as well. So those are currently $205, right? This is what I'm talking about when I'm saying swinging builds ports. $22 to $200, right? This is it's gonna do 1,000% without a doubt. So that would mean what, 220? I have no doubt in my mind about that, but I just want to really push forward this idea of if the trade is there, and I understand the ticker, right? I understand that AMD has earnings next week, and I explained all this in my previous video. So watch yesterday's video that was posted on June 28th for my assessment on why I'm swinging AMD, etc. So if I know that there's earnings and I went $20 out of the money and I only had to spend $22 a contract, pardon me, I just lost my train of thought. But I only spent $22 a contract, and I did that because I knew AMD had earnings. I know AMD is strong. I know AMD has nothing but room up, right? So that's important. I would switch screens, but I don't want to. I want to watch this. Okay, that's what I really wanted to push, is like, because there's a lot of feedback on these 1,000% trades. They're feasible, they're possible, and they're really low risk, ultimately. If you only have enough money for one contract, then fine, spend $22. If you have enough for 10 contracts, then, spend that $220. Because what does that make? That $220 turns into $2,200, and so on and so on. And frankly, it's going to go more than 1,000%, unless something crazy happens and like the market decides that it hates everyone. So just wanted to throw that out there. Yeah, that's my 2-minute rant. Gotta be careful here because everything's pulling back, right? And this is another reason to switch to 15s, right? This is a perfect short entry on Palantir. Top of broadening formation, 15er shooter. Like, you want to be able to see those things. You don't really see it on the 5, right? You see this on the 5. So, a lot easier to see those big moves. Yeah, I don't love that everything's pulling back. So, just keeping a watchful eye. And by that, I mean, I think I'm going to have to step away. Because I know that I have a tendency to continue trading. And I'm saying this 100 times on this video. I say it 100 times to myself every day, like, step away. Now's a good time to walk away. And I hardly ever do it. So I figure the more I say it, the more I push for it, the better I'll be at it. But right now, I'm feeling kind of pissed off. Like, come on. What's going on? Giving back some gains. Don't love it. Radar. This is a great example of that. I should have exited NVIDIA. I'm just stubborn about it. I don't want to exit. I'm just not going to. But looking at it, that 30 is still inside, but this is not good. Like, at the flip is when I should have gotten out of that. We'll just have to see how we go because I'm just not exiting, which is terrible. It's down 20%. To be fair, though, I'm buying pretty far out of the money, so 20% is just $11, but over time, that's going to add up. And I don't want to get in the habit of being that person. I mean, I already am, but, maybe I could be better. And then we have AMD, which is doing fine. Would love to see it hit these targets that continue to move because Orb continued to move. But those should be set now for the day. It was up 50%, now it's up 38%. I'm talking about AMD here. I'm thinking about where I want the portfolio to be. I think I'm wanting it to be about $700 today. It's at 4 now. We could probably do another 300. It's 1024. We got it in us. We got it in us. So yeah, that's what I'm shooting for. Looking at SMCI, this baby. Again, I know this ticker, right? So when I get in, all I needed for it to do is keep the day green. All of this bullshit down 20, 30%. I wouldn't suggest it for anyone, but I know this ticker. This baby has nothing but space up. And to be quite honest, I should have gotten next week contracts. But I'm going to move into that strategy when I have a little bit more money in the portfolio. Because right now, the most important thing is growth. This thing's going to blow through all of these targets. SMCI is what I'm talking about. But yeah, this NVIDIA situation, I guess I can show you this. This NVIDIA situation, so this. Well, now it's only down 12. What the hell? This hasn't updated. I think it's down 20. It's down 20 on my phone. Oh, that's because it's the wrong one. This is the one I'm looking at. Yeah. This NVIDIA situation, not ideal. So, that's not great trading. Like this whole giving back these gains, give back, gains, you know, blah, blah, blah. That's not where we want to be. I don't want to be that person. But yeah, that's just a quick update on good and bad trading. The indices are showing significant weakness. So all this shit could be short-lived. You know? This whole situation. This is an indication of possible short-lived greatness. Well, this is not greatness, but this is an indication of we could be going down for a bit. And in that scenario, now that we are here, the smartest thing to do is to put stops in and protect myself from myself. And that's also part of just knowing who you are and how you trade. Because just like NVIDIA, I'm a motherfucker. I'll hold it if I still think that the trade is okay. So let me put stops in right now before this flip, because everything is showing me that weakness is here. Yeah, and I'm just giving money back. This is making me feel upset. All right. So I added $50 to the portfolio because I couldn't pass up getting in to some more contracts. I'm going to have to make some sort of rule around it. You know, like I'm not going to add more than $100 or $150 per day and then I'll withdraw it, because I am really struggling with having the limit of the portfolio. Like, and I know that's the whole point of this. But I haven't grown a small account in so long, and it's just not my trading style anymore. So what I do want to show, however, is you don't have to have a lot, right? So this is where we're at. Oops, this is where we're at. $40. Sorry, 40% on the day. I added, what did I say? $50. So, still, that's not a ton of money. I know it's dependent on who you ask, but that's where we're at with it. I'm going to do my best to keep any addition quite small, but I also don't want to give up on gains. And to be fair, like I'm in a position to have a little bit of money to put in to some things. So that's how I trade now. Like, I don't really have much more to say, but I do want to be transparent. Like, I added $50. This is where we're at. I still want to see 700%. That'd be great. $700 on the day is still what I want to see. So, yeah, that's all I have to say for now. I'm looking at this. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. SMCI, we're just gonna let this baby go. I think it did like 40%, but again, I've spent so little and I'm really far out of the money, so we'll see how we go. Worst that could happen is, you know, you take like a $10 loss, if that. I can pull up how much I paid. SMCI, I paid $23 for those contracts. Hopefully, you know, we can see 100% and just chalk that in. Where is my second? Oh, that is my second target. Okay, 62. Well, we'll see if we can get 100% on that. But yeah, obviously I'm digging AMD, and I do sort of feel a way about being in the 185s and not holding. Yesterday I said if these, I only care about these if they go up to 500%, and then, you know, you see those numbers and you're like, oh shit, let me take my profit. So you win some, you lose some. I lost bigly on that, but that's okay. It'll happen again. It happens every week. So I want to start showing 1,000% trades on this portfolio as well. And really, that's a whole other skill set of holding through. Because yesterday, if you go back to my video, like, I kind of put chapters in it, and you can see the section where I'm saying, like, what to do if you're at ADR, like what to do if you see that you're in this profit and you're up 300%. Like, do you take that 300, or if it drops down to 215, do you take that? And that's what happened to me yesterday, right? Like, you see that you're up 300%, and then when it goes down to that 220, you're like, oh shit, like I'm losing money. But really, that's, if you believe in the trade and you know where it's going, that's the time to just, you know, settle in and hold, right? And I didn't do that, and now I'm feeling regret about that, because I sold those contracts at like what, $60, and now they're at 200 something, right? So again, it also helps when you have more contracts, because, you know, I normally buy in increments of 10, so, you know, you can kind of shave a few off and you still have runners, so you get that feeling. What the hell? Oh, it's a flip. Okay, I was like, what is AMD doing? What was I saying? So you get that feeling of being right on your trade and success, but you're also banking profit along the way. All right, so I just wanted to really come on here and say that I cheated another day in a row, but I am doing my best to cheat very minimally. So $50 in to hopefully get some really exciting gains. So, you know how I mentioned that things were pointing down, you had to be careful? Yeah, that shit happened really quickly. Less quickly on AMD, of course, but like this on Nvidia, this on SMCI, that had me giving back quite a bit of gains. So now there's quite a bit of frustration, you know, now in the trades. So this is what the portfolio looks like. We're at 428, and now we're at 374. I'm out of everything, but that is less than ideal. Significantly less than ideal. But, you know, SPY showed us, right? I mentioned it. It showed us that it was weak. Qs did the same. You gotta have caution, you know, when you're trading against the trend like that. So we'll have to wait on proper turnarounds, and that could take hours. So let the chips fall. I'm thinking about shorting, but there's no need to try and do crazy stuff. Oof, this is painful. Really though, what you should be looking at is, if something like this happens, what is weak across the market, right? I want to be seeing red FTC across the market and getting into those tickers, right? I don't really want to short strong things. I don't want to short AMD. A short on AMD is going to be short-lived. Maybe we come down through ADR and then we come back up. Right now, because I've made money on AMD, my ideal situation would be to really get red and then get into next week contracts. But when we're talking about probability, we want to be shorting tickers that make sense. So what does that mean? I'm looking for something that is red. Amazon makes sense. Apple makes sense. Meta. Well, it's almost an outside day, but this is what I'm talking about though. Like you see this continuity, like it's just red, 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 red. Those are the things that we want to see. Meta could go outside week, down. Affirm. This could go outside day. This is what you want to see. So, if I do want to take a short, good God, NVIDIA. That's interesting. A firm's gonna have to re-trigger the hour. Good Lord. I hope this is all short-lived. NVIDIA fills this gap, like we talked about this morning. So it's not the worst short to the gap, and then see where we bounce. I'm gutted that I'm not in shorts. I'm gonna stop trading for a little bit because I gave back so much. Look at Costco trying to be a strong one. Carvana. It's already outside day. But again, this is what I'm talking about. You see this? That's the stuff you want to be shorting. Crowd. Going for outside day. D-Dog as well. Filled that gap. Yeah. So. Oh, shit. I forgot about Spotify. I even said it in my pre-market. Damn. You wanted to take this when it went green to red. I completely forgot. Alright. To hammer that I should have been taking profit. This is why I said Mike would be better than me, because Mike takes profit when he sees it. This allowing, what, $100 to drop to 50, like that $50 loss on a portfolio like this, that's stupidity. Number one. Number two, a firm is likely to re-trigger that. I spoke about a firm, so we could see a firm at ADR. NVIDIA, however, has filled this gap. So now the question is, right? So this is the short that you can take as well to a specific target, right? I don't want to short strong things, but I do want to fill this gap on NVIDIA. Let me show you a little bit better view. Let's get the day up. Right? So NVIDIA gapped up. So filling that gap, now I'm actually looking for a reversal back to high of day. So a couple of things can happen here. I'm going to go back to this. Look. Actually, sorry, I'm a bit all over the place. Man, that SPY put was incredible. A couple things, right? So you could take this inside 30 for the gap fill, right? And then once it hits that, you need to be watching what's happening at your target. Are we going to go down to lower ADR? Because we hit the gap fill, we hit target 1. Now lower ADR would be the next target. However, this is a strong ticker. So maybe the only place we're going is the gap fill, right? That's the power of just taking profit at your targets. If you take profit at your targets, you're not going to have things like this. You go up, you come down, you give it back. You go up, you come down, you give it back. You're not going to have that. You're going to have, you go up, maybe like a flat line, you go up, flat line, go up, if you're taking profit at your targets. So back to NVIDIA. Now I need to be watching what's happening in this area, right? Because we could be reversing back to the highs because it's a strong ticker. And something that can supplement this is SPY or Qs or whatever, indices. Obviously, SPY is my favorite indice. What do I see with SPY? I see that SPY has hit ADR. So I also need to know what SPY is doing, right? Because if SPY is going to reverse this, then we're going back up strong. Because NVIDIA, AMD, SMCI, they were strong when this was happening in SPY. So imagine if SPY flips back long, how much stronger those tickers will be. Okay? So I need to know, am I going through ADR down to here, 635, or am I hitting ADR and reversing? Right? So that's what I'm watching for in times like these. What else do I want to see? I would love for NVIDIA to give me a failed 2 down. Gosh, I mean AMD. Sorry for that. On the hour. So this situation, I would love for the next hour to come down maybe to ADR and then turn back green, so then I can get back into swings for tomorrow and into next week's swings on AMD. It's looking like it may do it on the 30, but my ideal situation is for it to do it on the hour. What else am I looking at? See, there's your Affirm. Boom. I think Affirm is going down to ADR based off this red continuity, based off of... Here we go, here's Affirm. Come on. I hope everyone's watching these videos in double time. So we have this inside week, but I want to see an outside day, right? Which is the same as ADR for Affirm. I can label that. If I had a little bit more money, maybe that's where I would be. I don't know. I just, I kind of overtraded this morning and now I'm feeling annoyed that I gave money back, but I do that almost every day. So I got to get better. Anyway, this is where I would be taking Affirm, and then, you know, we could likely continue on. So what am I seeing? See? I'm telling you, once you get this, it's actually incredible. So I see we filled this gap, and now I'm looking for, what? A reversal on NVIDIA. SMCI is a bit of a dickhead. Right? So I really want this to set up for me. What type of reversal? Well, now I can have options, right? If this can close green, be a fail 2 down green on the 30, that would be really great for me. Even better, actually, would be if this closes green. Fail 2 down on the 15, right? So this is what I want to happen. This is my entry. Fail 2 down on the 15. That flips this green and comes all the way back up to here. Why? Because if it comes all the way back up to here, that also flips the hour green. So then I can just have a continuation on this hour, right? Because I'd have a failed 2 down hour. So I just have to wait 3 minutes for that to happen. That would be absolutely lovely. What is AMD doing? Something very similar. I mentioned what I wanted to see on the hour, and I said it could happen on the 30. So if that does happen, then fine. I just wait for it, right? This is a point where I will probably have to put more money in, but we're talking about the principles of trading here. And the principles of, well, I wouldn't say they're strat principles, but like just the thought and understanding of strength and weakness, right? And to be fair, like this could not happen. Like it could just keep going down. Like this could be a little, let me get you to a screen you can see. This could be like a little TTO, right? It comes up and then it goes, drops all the way back down. Very possible. Something that's not giving me a ton of confidence is SPY. I need the SPYs and the Qs, so here, pardon me, I need both of those to really get going. Something that, this looks fun. Hood, back down. Inside hour, back down to the lows. Well, the lows is aggressive, but like to the 103, 102 area. But time will tell, right? Like we'll just have to see. This is the waiting game part of it. This is telling me, so first of all, this entry didn't happen, right? It kept going down. So it went through this target, which means ADR, right? First thing that it's telling me. Also, Affirm doing its thing, going back down to here, which is our outside day. Also ADR, which is great. So really, what I should be doing is shorting, right? SPY is going to go outside day. If you look at SPY here, you can see outside day here, right? All of this stuff, however, is happening. It's 11:18 in the morning. So this is actually great for me because I think AMD is going to turn around. So the earlier that this happens, the better it is for me to get a reversal. Okay? This would be a different conversation if it's like 2 p.m. But here we are. We missed the short. Things happen. We haven't gone red on the day. That's what's important. What's important is that we're making money, right? Although a little bit. And you know, I did something similar yesterday, right? Like I gave money back yesterday as well. I think we were up like 120 and we ended the day like plus 75. So it's a me problem and I have to figure out how to solve that problem. But yeah, just looking forward, I'm waiting on reversals. Ooh, wee! This is what you want to take if you missed all that. This inside, oh not inside. This failed 2 at 5. I'm back down to here. To what? 635.81. Yeah, boy, this is crazy. It's actually not crazy. Like, we're at the highs. Like, this is bound to happen. Just sucks to miss. You know what I mean? So here we are, living through it, doing nothing. Hey, this is where we're at, right? ADR. We hit outside day, ADR. In hindsight, I'm trying to think why I didn't get into shorts. But it's fine. It is fine. I don't love this. If they keep running it down, I may guess that we gap up in the morning. But yeah, missed opportunity here, bigly. Because tomorrow's FOMC, so you really want to make your money on Monday and Tuesday. Let Wednesday just sort of play out how it's going to play out. And it's going to diddle around, you know, because of FOMC. Actually quite gutted. In hindsight, you can see these entries inside 30. Oh, this one was on the hour, right? Yeah, I did a firm on the hour. Right, off of this hour here. AMD off this 30. Just sometimes you just don't know how it's gonna go. I wouldn't have taken, well, if I had more money I would have scalped this, but it would have been a scalp to ADR. Like, this is more than I thought it would fall. We already talked about SPY and the Qs. Look at this. We're going outside day across the board, so look at this, right? SPY outside day, Qs outside day, possible. SMCI probably not, but you can see Hood, Affirm have done it. I doubt AMD and Nvidia are going to do it, but all right, that's the update. Okay, this is the reversal we're looking for, right? Everything hit ADR, went through ADR, hit the target 2, so target 2, ADR, maybe not target 2, Nvidia ADR target 2. So now I'm looking for reversals, right? Ideally, you have reversals on the flip. So we flipped, and this is what we look like. We have to wait for something proper to set up, but this is what we look like. And again, I would love for AMD to actually come down through here and then come back up and turn green. Like, I would love for it to happen. That's the main one I'm looking at. And I said earlier this morning that Affirm is confusing to me. It's such a strong ticker overall that I don't know what's going on there. Okay, SMCI, similar, right? So I love that SMCI actually triggered down, because this is the conversation that I had about looking for reversals in one of my previous videos, right? So I made a lower low. I made a new low here. I really want Nvidia to do the same, right? I want Nvidia to make a low that looks like this. Whoa, relax. Whoa. Does that make sense? Like, I want this hour to trigger down and then flip green. That's just giving me confirmation. SPY did it, right? Qs did it. That's what I want to see. So then I need that to happen on AMD, on Nvidia. It already happened on Affirm, which I'm not going to trade up. I have to put some energy into Affirm to figure that out. But I just wanted to give a quick update on the reversal, what that looks like, what I'm looking for. If it doesn't happen on these, like this closes inside hour, then I can still take it up. But I just have more confidence if it does happen. But yeah, this is a waiting game for a little bit. SMCI could still go to ADR like everything else did. Does that mean SMCI is outside? Fucking spot. So annoyed. No, not even close to outside day. That baby's not going outside. But there is a gap here that I should draw. Okay, that's it on that. Take more reason to feel bad about not taking shorts. This is dumping. At this point, the question is, do you just get into something? Likely missed another trigger on a 5. Yeah, inside 5. I mean, I could. Just don't know how far down we're going to go. We're already outside day. I'd rather wait on reversals. We have this double inside 5 on AMD. I also see. I'm going to put it on the watch list and just let regret hit me if it does. Man. But that's also why you wait, right? Because we saw those hours not that long ago for a possible reversal. That's why we wait. What has happened, though, is what I wanted, right? These have triggered down. So now I've made a low, so hopefully that can flip green. If not, then, you just miss the shorts. I can't catch them all. But boy, do I want to. But yeah, just a quick update there. Tesla's a temptress, always. Really missed the train. I hardly ever miss the train like this. So this feels not good. This feels really bad, actually. Yeah, I don't like to miss the train like this. This was an easy one to catch. That's okay. That's okay. Waiting game. This is why we wait, though. I'm waiting on these hours, right? What I want to happen looks like it's happening. I still have 40 minutes. So there's no need to rush into anything. Love these lower lows. Like, really love this. I honestly wish this may have gone a little bit lower. But this is giving me an opportunity to get into next week contracts for AMD. This is giving me an opportunity to get into more weekly contracts. Like, what I want to show in this sort of series that I'm doing right now, of like these last sort of clips in this video, is how powerful waiting on the signal can be, right? I don't know what's going to happen. I know what I want to see, but I have no idea what's going to happen. So like, I had that thought, right? Should I short it? It's already so low. Like, I'm unsure. When you feel that way, just don't take a trade. The worst that could happen is that you don't take a trade and you've already made money on the day. So, and this is as much for me as it is for you, because I have this tendency to just get into the next trade and keep going and keep going. And I take more losses than I need to because I do that. Granted, I have enough capital to where that has minimal effect on me, but ultimately it's a terrible way to trade. Just wait for the trade. I could put more into a winning trade as opposed to putting a little into many trades across the board. And I haven't really done my numbers on my main portfolio in a while, but I can almost guarantee that the numbers would be higher had I not just jumped into shit and just waited. So this is as much for me as it is for anyone else. I am patiently waiting on all of this stuff to turn around. And again, really, I'm focused on AMD, NVIDIA, and SMCI. I'm sure there's other things out there. I just can't be bothered to spend too much work and brain power on it. And again, right, when things occur matter, it's not even noon, right? So the time is 11:48. Because that drop happened so early in the morning, the likelihood of my reversal is increased because I have so much time for it to happen. Remember I mentioned that? So again, I want you to be thinking of that when you're looking for reversals. Like, I don't want to do this at 2 o'clock. I don't want to do this really even at 1 o'clock. But noon? Like, let's go. 1 o'clock is probably fine because you still have quite a few hours left. You have about 4 hours to trade. Or 3. But yeah, at noon, this is... Man, I can't ask for anything better, to be honest. And really, if these 30s, for me, this is a riskier setup and trade. But if these 30s can turn around, this is my entry. We talked about waiting on the hour. But if these 30s can turn around, we're going to go out of the money and we're going to let this ride into tomorrow. Okay. Hood's too expensive, so I'm not going to bother with it. Affirm is... I'm not going to bother with it. What's Palantir doing? Yes. Again. Let's play. You know what I mean? Alright. Oh man, I think this video is going to turn out so well with these reversals. I'm I'm going to have to put more money in. I love how much I've been saying that lately, but I can only do so much. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is going to be a good time. I think we can get to that $700 on the day. This will be fun. This will be fun. Here's the update, right? We put in those 30s. So we want these 30s to trigger, right? So this is your entry. I'll draw these entries and then I may be done making vids because I'm feeling tired. Entry, 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 right? Entry. And if you go down to smaller time frames, you can see it, right? The tenor, there's your entry, right? This is where you want to be. This is where you want to be. Long wicks, 1, 2, 2, right? But if you're not trading the tenor, then wait for the 30. It's fine. You can wait for the hour because look at these hours, right? There's still 2 downs. You can wait for all of that stuff. Just got to decide what type of trader you are.